Dollar General is slowing down its fresh produce rollout. According to Grocery Dive, Dollar General's efforts to bring fresh produce, not produce, produce to locations will continue into the new year, but at a slower pace compared to years prior. Dollar General plans to begin selling fresh produce at approximately 300 more locations in 2025, bringing the total number of stores that have this offering to roughly 7,000, which is still a lot of stores. From 2022 to 2023, Dollar General added produce to more than 1,800 stores, bringing the store count that offered fresh fruits and vegetables to more than 5,000 locations. However, Dollar General still has ambitious store update plans in the new year. During the fiscal year 2025, the retailer aims to complete around 4,885 projects. That sounds like an exact number.
Very specific.
Including
Yes.
575 store openings in the US and 2,000 full remodels. And is Dollar General's
Yes.
fresh rollout slowdown just an example of good capital allocation? Or do you think there's more going on here?
I think it's a little bit of both, Chris. I think that number one, this shows me that operating a grocery concept, especially one that includes fresh produce, isn't as easy as it might seem. And even though you have the best financial modelers at Dollar General, I think you still can't predict, how consumers buy, the cost of food, like inflation, especially, with Dollar General kind of bringing this, it's still relatively new to some of the Dollar General stores being able to purchase these things. So I actually think that they've already got a good pilot going with 5,000 stores. And I think they're smart to kind of slow roll the rest of the rollout because they're still learning from it and they're still having to develop. And like I've said at the beginning, like it's still a very volatile and low margin industry, grocery. So I think like you have to be really able to flex and learn as you continue to expand, especially at the pace that they were going to do that. So I'd be doing the same thing if I was Dollar General. I'd be kind of phasing this out slowly. And the other thing I'd be watching too is, as Walmart is still gaining share in grocery, and that's a lot of the other retailers that's closest to people in these Dollar General geographies, like that's something their low pricing is something that you're going to have to contend with too. So that's something else that kind of plays into this as a tertiary factor. So I think it's both like modeling the financial component of this and then just figuring out operations of running a grocery concept inside of a dollar store. But what do
Yeah.
you think about this? I mean,
Yeah.
do you think it can be
Yeah.
modeled correctly? Like what do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. In reality, the question I ask you is kind of silly, because in reality, like if you're gonna reallocate your capital, it's probably both, right? It's clearly not doing or not producing the ROI that they initially thought it was, and so especially compared to the standard remodels, so they're reinvesting their capital. They're smart, and and I
And
think
is
we've
that
said this when
common,
they.
Chris? Like you worked on fresh, like
It's
putting
actually,
Target
it's
Fresh
actually,
together. Like how does that
it's
play into it?
actually It's actually not that common, I would say, because typically
Okay.
retailers double down on things they've said. So I actually give a lot of kudos to them for saying, okay, we're still going to do it, but we're going to slow it down. We're going to do it in the stores we think,
Sure.
we're still going to do 300 stores. We're going to do it in the stores where we think it's going to have the biggest impact. The other thing I'll say, because I think we talked about this when they first announced the strategy, Zach Brinning is there. He's former Omni
Mm-hmm.
star, Zach Brinning. He was
Yeah.
actually in charge of Target's fresh rollout. So they have people inside Dollar General that know how to do this as well as anyone out there.
Yeah.
So I just think net to me, it actually feels like a smart move on paper, and I don't think I'd read anything more into it than that, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.